I the asshole for getting mad at a friend for changing in front of me?
Okay. More naked. You got a lot of naked ones.
That's why I said this was a good one to play off of the last one.
Okay.
All right. I, 27 male, went over to a friend's house, 26 female, because we, along with all of our other friends, planned on going to a local diner. I was really pumped because where I live, this place has been closed for a while and it just recently opened up. I finished my work stuff early and asked my friend, who lives a few blocks away, we'll call her Mallory, if I could drop by early. When I showed up, she's still in her home with clothes, t-shirt, sweatpants, that sort of thing. We still have an hour left before we head out, and she tells me that she needs to finish some homework-related stuff. So we end up chilling in her room. Now, here's a little background on both of us. She's pretty conventionally attractive, but both of our personalities don't match, so nothing ever sparked, and we just stayed good friends. With 30 minutes left before we leave, she starts undressing and getting ready right in front of me. This caught me off guard, so I covered my eyes and said, at least ask me to leave the room. She started laughing and brushes it off, saying it's not even a big deal, and she doesn't see me in that way. I tell her that neither do I. She's still fucking topless, in parentheses. But that doesn't mean I'm comfortable seeing her nude, so I leave the room. I kind of leave it at that, and we don't mention it for the rest of the night. We go out, and everything seems fine. Then she texts me and says that I was kind of being an ass and that I made her feel weird about our friendship. She goes on and to say that if I truly see her as a friend...
You made her feel weird?
Yeah.
Like, she's the one that fucking just got buck naked.
Right? She goes on to say that if I truly see her as a friend, then I should be able to not sexualize her body.
Does he have a girlfriend? Has he mentioned?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
I think that he would have, because if he did, that would be absolutely so not okay.
Yeah.
This kind of sets me off because from where I'm sitting, you can't force this level of comfort with a friend. So I basically tell her that I'm not suddenly going to turn gay for her sake.
Yeah. I mean, you're still like, if someone's in front of you, like you have fucking eyes. You can't just like shut them off.
Yeah. And that she can ask me to leave the room like a normal person before she decides to go full Queen of Dragons, whatever that means.
Khaleesi.
Oh.
Yeah. God, I love Game of Thrones.
And
I love Game of Thrones.
I always say that I need to watch it, and then I never do. So
yeah,
that's where we're at.
You got to.
And now my phone is blowing up as our mutual friends are calling me an asshole. I get that I snapped at the end, and my response could have been more mature. But really, am I the asshole here?
No.
Because I'm honestly surprised at how many of our friends are taking her side.
They're probably just jealous that he didn't fucking sit there and Google her. Like, they're probably like, we would have sat there and saw her naked, dude.
I think it's the girlfriends too. The
What?
like the friends that are girls.
I just see this being so weird. Like, say he did get a girlfriend, and this girlfriend comes in the picture and like is kind of like, oh, like, you know, you've got a lot of girlfriends. Yeah. You've never done anything with them, right? Like, just out of curiosity. Like, I mean, technically he'd be like, well, she got naked in front of me once. Like, you're just making the situation awkward.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable. Like, I have a lot of guy friends. That's just, I've always had a lot of guy friends. Like, I have an equal number, like, guy friends, girlfriends, like, decent amount. But I've always had really good guy friends. And I cannot imagine
if they started changing in front of you.
Yeah. Or if I had I would never get dressed or change in front of any of them. It's just a respect thing. Like, I truthfully, like, we have a couple girlfriends that like will be getting ready to go to the bars and stuff, and they have no problem like walking around completely naked until we leave to go to the bars. And I'm like, is this just me, or does anyone else like find this kind of goofy? Like, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. So I see this being a very weird situation he's in.
Yeah, and like he said, you can't force that level of comfort. If someone says, if I were to get undressed in front of my girlfriend and she said, wait till I leave the room, you know, I would laugh and be like, okay, like, sorry about that. And then we'd move on. I wouldn't be like, I'm sorry that you sexualized my body. You know, it's like
everyone has their boundaries.
If they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel comfortable. Yeah. And I think that's fair. So
totally fair. Everyone has their boundaries, and you need to be just respectful of that. Like, also, not to be like, oh, well, just because they're opposite genders or whatever, like, doesn't mean they can't see each other naked. But it's like, it's an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, that's why I said, even if it was one of my girlfriends who said, like, who was just like, wait till I leave the room, then I would be like, what? You don't want to see my nipples? Like, I wouldn't react like this girl is reacting. I don't care if it's a guy or girl. It's just like, if he says he's not comfortable, he's not comfortable. Leave it at that.
And that's it at the end of the day.
And she's projecting, saying, like, sorry that you can't be around me without sexualizing my body. Like, that's
taking it away that, like, it didn't need to go.
Yeah, it didn't need to go there. That was just like making this assumption and...
Yeah, like, why are you assuming?
Yeah.
Why are you assuming your friend was sexualizing your body? Maybe he just said taken aback and uncomfortable.
Exactly. That's all it was. That's all he said, at least. I mean, who knows? But from what his story is, that's all he said. So.
Yeah. Well, and this is so random, but like me and Justin have always talked about like trying to go to one of the nude beaches here in California because I don't like, if I'm going to sit out, like, of course I put sunscreen on, and if you don't, please wear sunscreen. Mm-hmm. But I really don't want to get tan lines, like really bad tan lines on like my top. Like my bottoms, I'd still wear bottoms.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wouldn't mind going to like just
spread eagle out there.
No, can't do that. But I wouldn't mind like going to a topless beach. So like when you go to a place like that, I understand other people would like see me.
Yeah.
So I get that, but I'm also like...
But you guys are all consenting by going to a new beach.
Exactly. And that's the thing, you're consenting. And so it's like to just spring that on one of your guy friends. I mean, if you've never done it before, you could just be like, hey, like, do you mind if I get changed real quick?
Yeah.
Like, if not, you could leave. Mm-hmm. But to just like... like tits out, like,
and even the fact that she did that, so what? He just said like, hey, like, give me a heads up so I can leave the room. Yeah. The fact that she drilled in on him is like where the actual issue is.
Yeah.
Because if she just did that and she's like, oh, like I just am comfortable. I thought we were all just on that level.
We've been friends for 7 years.
Yeah, if that's how she felt. But the fact that she then drilled in on him, it almost makes me feel like she has a crush on him and she's so pissed that like he doesn't have a crush back.
He almost rejected her in a way.
Like that's almost what it seems like, but who knows?
Or honestly, she could just be dealing with some, insecurities, some body issues, and she didn't, feel like he was supportive of her being naked.
It sounds like she's pretty comfortable.
I know, but like I think everyone's comfortable until someone says otherwise, and then you're like, wait, do I have something to worry about? Mm-hmm. And maybe it like kind of hammered home for her.
Yeah, maybe it hit a soft spot.
Exactly. Any comments?
This was the top comment. Not the asshole. If a guy whipped out his junk and then says, hey, it's okay, I'm not attracted to you, it's borderline sexual harassment. Yeah. But because roles are reversed, he shouldn't sexualize her and be comfortable with her, and he should be comfortable with her nudity.
Yeah.
Someone please explain the difference to me.
There is no difference.
Yeah.
It's no different than like typically girls, getting unsolicited dick pics in their DMs. And it's like, no one's asking for that. No one wants to see that. So that is therefore sexual harassment. I actually just saw one of these really cool body positive TikTokers today was like, I'm collecting all of the unsolicited dick pics and sending them to the police. Mm-hmm. So you're welcome, people. And so it's like, that is harassment. And it's like, it's just an uncomfortable situation to put your friend in. And I just, not the asshole at all.
So there's actually a couple of updates, but I don't know if we even really...
Oh.
Or do we still want to...
Are they good?
I can't remember. So update 1. Okay, so the general consensus seems that both parties could have handled the situation better. So I called Mal and apologized for blowing things out of proportion. Her response? Good. Bro, what the fuck? Is this even the same person I've been friends with? It's like I'm seeing a totally new side of her. No pun intended.
She definitely took it way, way, way more personal than she had to. And she's holding a grudge. And he probably picked up on one of her insecurities. Because otherwise you wouldn't act like this.
But fuck it. I swallowed my pride and asked if there was anything that she wanted to say to me. And apparently she doesn't. I tell her as calmly as I can that she's being unreasonable and that I should not have to see her naked and cover my eyes so that she can simply tell me to leave the room, friends or not. I have my boundaries. Mallory then fucking doubles down, saying that if we're friends and I really don't have a thing for her, it's not that big of a deal, and that she doesn't need to apologize for changing in her own room.
Why would she even feel the need to bring that up if she wasn't secretly harboring feelings for him?
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
If you don't like me and you're
It
not
shouldn't be a big
attracted to me, then you shouldn't have a problem.
Just fishing for something.
She's fishing.
Yeah.
Purely fishing. And she's offended because she wanted him to like it. She wanted, I think, like this, almost this like fantasy of like her stripping and him being like, wow, you know what? You're beautiful. I've always
Changed
had
my mind.
feelings
Yeah.
for you. And just like take her, like, I think this is a total fantasy and it completely backfired on her. Like, oh my gosh, have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, there's like this thing that they talk about in a few episodes called The Naked Man.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of The Naked Man and How I Met Your Mother, where the group of friends in How I Met Your Mother met this guy, and Robin like came back with him on a date or something, and he was all of a sudden naked on her couch, and she hooked up with him. And so she like told them the story or told him like whatever, but he's like, the naked man, when they leave, you come back and you're just naked, and it works, 75% of the time, like, or like whatever it was. But it reminds me of that, where it's like she just got naked and was like expecting this like flip of a switch, like, damn, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I like it, and she didn't get that.
If we're only friends, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, no, she's definitely heard about this, and she's got some other feelings happening.
She's crushing on you.
She's crushing hard.
So I don't really know what advice is about that, because if he's not crushing back, then what do you do?
And he like you said, like, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
And if she's not willing to like abide by them and like respect your boundaries, then you can't go to her house alone and like go into her room and I don't know, like keep it in a neutral zone maybe.
Yeah.
But you just kind of have to evaluate, like, if you want a friend that doesn't respect you.
Yeah. Or just
limit your interactions.
Yeah, because if she's really crushing on him that hard, then she's gonna have to be a little bitter for a minute. I think that's what happens. If someone has a crush on someone and it's not reciprocated, then like they got to be bitter for a little bit before they can move on and be friends again.
Yeah, no,
she's
gonna have to work through her feelings.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, like, do you even want to be friends with someone then who acts like that?
No. And again, you don't have to be bitter, but I'm just saying, I feel like she probably is just, because of her own ego, is just kind of like, well, fuck you then. And once she gets over that, then
for sure
she'll probably be fine.
Oh, Mallory.
Oh, Mal
gal.